It is NAMM 2025. It is early on Friday morning, Joey.
It's very early.
Thank you for coming so early for me.
Well, you know what? We skip breakfast for the Guitar
Did
Geek.
you?
Yeah.
Do you want this banana?
You have no idea how many times bananas have come up the last 2 days. No, I'm going to pass.
I'm so
Thank
happy you said that. I'm
Very
so happy
kind
you
of
said because I need
Very
that.
kind of you.
Right. Apart from the thing we're hiding behind us, what have you got for us in 2025?
So we want to talk about the new standards. For 2025, it was time to refresh the standards. We hadn't done a refresh there since 2018. And after 192 years, we've learned a lot about what our fan base wants, right? And a lot of it, as they love it whenever we reintroduce or nod back the things that we did in the late 30s. So, but they also want, contemporary playability, and of course they want the classic Martin tone. So 3 things we're going to focus on the refresh for 2025. Let's start with tonality. We've upgraded the braces to a GE or Golden Era inspired brace. This is different than what you find in our custom shop Golden Era bracing or our Authentics, similar to what the GE bracing is in a modern deluxe.
Right.
But it's a different shape brace. It allows the top to move and resonate differently. Then we've added bone bridge pins.
Very nice. We can go a little closer. They can get a close up. It'll. Oh, there we go.
I like that. Yeah. And then with the playability, and it's also a nod to our Authentic series. We have a thinner fingerboard, like you'd find on our Authentics, and that matched up with the modern low oval neck shape. It's interesting because in the product team, we talked a lot about how the neck fits the meat of your hand while you still have the added comfort of that fretboard. And that's beveled as well, so it's super comfortable. And then the GE Modern Belly Bridge. This is kind of a refined bridge. It's not as chunky. If you're a palm muter like me, I end up getting guitar rash.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it's just a lot more comfortable. Sleeker, right? And then when we get into some of the more vintage specs, a couple cool things happening. One, it's a long diamond transition.
So happy to see that back.
Yeah, so anybody that knows the significance of that, they see it and they're like, oh
that's
man, you're
Martin
doing it. Yeah, that's...
Without that, it's just another Martin shape guitar.
That's such a part of it. And then while we're up here, I don't know if the camera will be able to see it, but
we'll do some close-ups in a moment.
We're cutting the nut on angle to the headstock again.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Just like we used to. And then the vintage, sleeker heel. So everything went up just a little bit, but in the States, we're looking at $100 difference in street price, but we've thrown at least $400 of upgrades into it for that.
Cool. Feeling that the bridge.
Additions to the new standards, we added a D17 and a 𝗏𝗏𝗏17. Now, if you look at a 15 series as the entry point to Nazareth production, the 17 is kind of the introduction to the new standard, meaning that this has the GE-inspired bracing.
Yeah, sorry, it feels the same.
Modern belly bridge, right? This is also, as opposed to a 15 is a simple dovetail. This is going to be a compound dovetail.
Let's have a little look inside.
You won't be able to see it, but
I can feel it.
That's what's interesting is I love all mahogany guitars, and the 15s are awesome, these are going to resonate even more than the 15 because of that bracing and that neck joint.
Joey, to the people that aren't aware, what is the tonal difference between all mahogany and your standard D28, in your opinion?
Oh, it's funny. So if I'm playing a solo acoustic gig, I prefer a rosewood and spruce guitar. There you go. If I'm playing with a band, as soon as there's drums and a B3 player and a sax player and an electric player, as soon as everything else is there, I prefer mahogany because it sits, and preferably all mahogany, because it just sits at a very even, all the mids are, it's very even. It's like putting a canvas down to add the rest of the band to.
That's super interesting.
At least for me.
Okay, I would have gone the other way, but hearing you say that makes sense because I want to be heard in the guitar, and I want the guitar to be up in the mix, as we all do.
Yeah.
But that makes absolute sense because when I think of all mahogany, I think of warmer tone and deeper, bassier, sort of more earthy tones, and I see this as a more sort of having more brightness to it.
I very much look at rosewood being having all the EQ qualities of a piano.
Right.
And then I look at this as just a killer blank canvas for everybody to paint on top of.
That's my first time touching it, so just as it feels.
Are you excited?
I am, man. The D28 means so much to me. It's kind of, for me, when I think Martin, I think D28. I'm also a D45 fan, and the D18E from Kurt Cobain's Nirvana's Live Unplugged in New York is one of the guitars at some point I must have to recreate unless you do it for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you come up to Pennsylvania and visit the factory, we'll pull Grandpa out and you can play it. How about that? You'll cry, and then we'll all cry. It'll be beautiful, right? And then speaking of 45, since you brought it up, we're also adding...
Oh, I'm going there. You're going over there. I'll take it from you.
Zag.
Which one do you want?
Pull the... Actually, you know what? We don't have to pull it. We're adding an OM45 to the line.
Yeah.
Which is the first time we've had a 45 in 30 years. 30 years, first time we've had an OM.
I heard at your media event,
45.
and you were talking on about it, you were very excited. You, the royal you know. Yeah, superb news. But we've been hiding something, Joey, and it's not been hiding very well.
No, it's hard not to stare at. So the double neck.
Did you build it for the pure reason?
I have to force myself to restring my own guitars.
Did you build it for the pure reason that that's the best place to put the preamp controls?
I never thought about that. We should add that to the shtick.
That's a feature list.
So this came about a young up-and-comer named John Mayer.
Hang on. Yep. I'll link to him in the video description. Don't worry.
John calls my boss, and who's gotten very close, and says, "Hey, I'm going to go on a solo acoustic tour, and I want a double neck." And Fred goes, "We built a double neck, kind of an experiment back in 2010. Yeah, let me see if I can dig it out for you." So he takes this double neck, and of course, videos go up all over the place, and our customer service department blows up. Our sales department blows up. Custom shop blows up. Everybody's saying, "Hey, can I order a double neck?" Our CEO, Thomas Ripsum, challenges our master luthier, Tim Teal.
Just getting a pick ready, so
to make
I need to have a go on this.
To make this double neck. So Tim actually had to fly out to John on tour and get inside the guitar with his mirrors because he didn't remember exactly what he had done to build it. So we kind of had to reverse engineer to build this. It's on our Grand J body shape and platform. It is a 28, so it's rosewood back and sides and all the other 28 appointments you would find. Some cool things under the hood is obviously 2 necks, so there's 2 neck blocks there,
Oh, right,
and
okay,
a
yeah.
3rd neck block here for stability. 2 separate bridges, but 1 bridge plate. And I think that part of the reason that this guitar resonates like it does is because of the separation and the conductivity together in different parts, right?
Okay.
You needed as much contact as you could in certain places,
But you need to separate
and you
them.
needed some separation in others. And the other thing that's, if you would hold it by that.
Okay, I'm trying not to.
Oh, you're good. There you go. You wouldn't expect that.
I would not.
It's incredibly
I'm
balanced.
not at my strongest either. And that is balanced as heck.
Yeah. It's shocking, really.
I love playing SGs when I play electric, and that is like the opposite.
It's completely opposite what you thought would happen.
I mean, I could hold that for someone else, and they could play it right now for a couple of hours.
Well, maybe. So last thing is the Fishman. We worked close with Fishman on a custom system for
Maybe
this.
not a couple of hours.
And the pickup selector is very convenient.
That was the question. Is that like, I thought it was like on air, off air, it looks like that.
Well, the other thing that was kind of a happy accident was that if you're playing rhythm on the 12 string and then you switch to the 6 for a lead, you get a little bit of a kind of archive or a trail that comes off of the 12 that you can play over when you go to the 6.
Nice. So
Very
again,
good.
that separation, but that connectivity as well.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to playing this. I don't know in which order this video is happening, by the way. Victor's in charge of that. And yeah, this is it's beautiful. Like, I have a double neck ukulele at home, and that is
We're looking off camera to my counterpart, Mike George, who drives our ukulele business, and he just got very excited.
I saw you jumped 3 feet in the air, and that's that's more cumbersome than this is, which is weird because it's obviously tiny. This, I think it's the angle. It feels right. I'm gonna, more playing, less talking. Let's put that back, and we're editing in playing. So, Joey, what else would you like to tell us about 2025's Martin at NAMM and the rest of it?
We can move over to my friend Mike George to talk about Billy Strings.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is Mike. Thankfully, he's a bit bigger than me, so we get all of us in frame, and we're going to talk about Billy Strings. One of them is over there. Would you mind fixing it
Andy.
for us?
Yes. So we have 2 models this year in collaboration with Billy Strings. The first we're looking at is the D28 Billy Strings, and it is modeled after his favorite Martin, a 1940 D28. So we've basically taken cues aesthetically, herringbone, obviously, spruce top, rosewood back and sides. So very outwardly looks like a D28, waffle back tuners, period correct. But a few things going on for the enthusiast, obviously, because Billy had to add his twist. 25-inch scale length, so slightly shorter, slinkier for fast playing, right? An in-between nut width, so to nerd out a minute. I feel like we're in good company, right?
100%.
1 11/16 is pretty common for the era. 1 3/4 is what we do today on nut widths on a dreadnought. This is smack dab in the middle, so 1 23/32. All right, a nice
I love the
hybrid
attention to
playing
detail,
experience. Yeah. So all those things going on, it's quite a unique playing experience, and we're really pumped to have Billy, promoting this, and just we're glad to have him in the fold.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. The counterpart that we're doing, a more affordable option, is our DX2E Billy Strings. So similar look aesthetically, but obviously a more subdued look for a more
satin,
budget.
I'm a big fan of satin, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, well, from being on stage and being on camera, it doesn't reflect the light so
There you
much,
go.
so it makes my job easier.
Spruce top, Brazilian rosewood
Oh, look at
HPL
that.
back and sides. Yeah,
Look
beautiful,
at
right?
that.
And the same stuff going on with the 25-inch scale, the hybrid nut width, and Billy's custom neck taper, I should have mentioned, on both of these models.
And what is that? Is there a shape that's similar to?
It would just be period correct for a 1940s D28, sort of, you know, taking some cues for what he was looking for there.
And what is your favorite, if you were to pick a favorite, Mike?
Of the whole lineup?
Yeah.
That double neck's a showstopper, I think, right? Super fun to play. But
Yeah.
I'm, as a fan of Billy Strings, that was a really exciting one to work on.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mike.
absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you, Martin Guitars, for allowing me early into the booth, and thank you, Mike, and to Joey for coming in early and skipping your bananas and breakfast.
Of course.
There is much more in the NAMM playlist. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. And we're out.
Excellent.
Well, we're not quite out.